Have you ever heard of a battlefield nurse who didn't just mend broken bodies, but also mended a broken system? Today, we're diving into the incredible story of a woman who faced the chaos of war, not with a weapon, but with bandages, revolutionary ideas, and an iron will. This isn't just a history lesson. It's a story about how one person's refusal to accept the status quo can change the world. Imagine a time when hospitals were more dangerous than the battlefields themselves. Soldiers would survive the fight only to be taken down by infections and diseases in filthy, overcrowded wards. The air was foul, supplies were scarce, and basic hygiene was a foreign concept. It was a nightmare. This was the reality that greeted Florence Nightingale when she arrived in Crimea in 1854. The conditions were appalling. Men were lying in their own filth on straw mats. Rats were everywhere, and essential supplies like soap, clean water, and fresh bedding were virtually non-existent. The death rate was sky-high, not from combat wounds, but from diseases like cholera and typhus. The military leadership was overwhelmed and resistant to change. They saw this young woman not as a savior, but as a nuisance. But Florence was no ordinary nurse. She was a brilliant statistician, a relentless organizer, and she wasn't about to back down. She and her team of nurses got to work immediately. They scrubbed the hospital from top to bottom, secured clean bedding, and established a laundry. They organized a kitchen to cook nutritious meals for the soldiers, using their own money to buy supplies when the army failed to provide them. They didn't just treat wounds, they treated the entire environment. Florence understood something revolutionary for her time, that a clean environment was crucial for healing. While the doctors were focused on individual surgeries and medicines, she was focused on the bigger picture, public health and sanitation. She was treating the system itself. Her most powerful weapon wasn't a syringe, but data. Florence meticulously recorded everything. She tracked mortality rates, causes of death, and the impact of her sanitary reforms. She created groundbreaking visual charts like the polar area diagram to show a simple, undeniable truth. More soldiers were dying from disease than from battle. Her data was so compelling that it couldn't be ignored. It was proof that her methods worked. Night after night, she would walk the dark, endless corridors of the hospital, a lamp in her hand, checking on every single soldier. This earned her the famous nickname, the Lady with the Lamp. She wasn't just a manager, she was a deeply compassionate caregiver who brought comfort and hope to thousands of suffering men. Her presence alone was a form of medicine. When she returned to Britain, she wasn't hailed as a hero by everyone. Some in the establishment still saw her as a troublemaker. But she had the data, and she had the public's adoration. She used her influence to push for massive reforms in the military healthcare system and beyond. She campaigned for better hospital design, professional training for nurses, and the use of statistics in public health. Her work laid the foundation for modern nursing as we know it. She proved that nursing was a respectable, skilled profession and that a scientific, evidence-based approach to care could save countless lives. She was treating wounds, yes, but at the same time, she was taking control of a broken, inefficient system and rebuilding it from the ground up. So the next time you think one person can't make a difference, remember the lady with the lamp. She walked into a nightmare and turned it into a beacon of hope, proving that sometimes the greatest battles are fought not with swords, but with soap, data, and unwavering compassion. Thanks for watching. If you found this story as inspiring as I did, hit that like button and subscribe for more stories of incredible people who changed our world. See you next time.